Tiffany from Jamaican Food Connection, and this is We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. So I was trying to find a dip yesterday. I was like, oh man, I need to make something for the show. I want a dip that is gluten-free or dairy-free. So I was looking and I was looking. I was in Walmart. So my looking turned into hours. And finally I decided to do, excuse me while I adjust, I decided to do the 7-layer dip, and I realized I did have the option to do dairy free. However, I didn't like that option, so I chose to do gluten free. And as I looked at the packets, the taco packets, I have pictures of it and I'm going to post it afterwards because I thought it was hilarious. So I looked at the ingredients, I looked at the front, and one said regular, like this one, same brand, and the other one said gluten free. So I decided to look at the ingredients, and the ingredients were pretty much the same. So just for all you gluten-free people out there, if you are looking to do something simple like a dip or something like that, and they have a gluten-free version as well as a regular version, compare the ingredients because more than likely they're similar. And the only difference that they had in there, this has potato starch in it and the other one doesn't say potato starch. Potato starch is gluten-free because potato is gluten-free. So, and I use it in my recipes, and it's in the flours that I use that are gluten-free. So just keep that in mind whenever you're shopping. The one that said gluten-free was more expensive, about 30 cents. However, if you're making like over time, if you're continuously buying the one that says gluten-free over the one that's regular, then you may spend some extra change that you could have kept in your pocket. Hi, Dr. Fumi, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming in. Okay. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with the 7-layer dip. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to start with the 7-layer dip, and this is pretty much the basis of it. Like I stated, this one is a regular packet. I'm not endorsing this brand. This is just the brand that I normally use, and I looked for the gluten-free version, compared the ingredients, they were the same. So I wasn't going to pay more for the same thing. I just wanted to make you all aware of that. And also I'll post some pictures of the back that shows the ingredients and the front that shows the pictures after the show. Okay, so everyone that's in here, please pump the hearts and please invite your followers. Let's get started. So 7-layer dip is very easy. It just requires 7 layers of ingredients. So I'm gonna get my bowl and then we can get started. So my bowl today, if y'all can see me, my bowl today is this clear glass bowl. So I wanted it to be able to see the glass, see the layers in the glass. So we're gonna start with the refried beans, and they're kind of, I did pinto refried beans as opposed to as opposed to black refried beans. And the pinto refried I'm having difficulty saying that, refried beans are lighter in color. So I have them in a bowl, and this is approximately 1 cup. We're gonna just add this in as our first layer, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I know some people go for perfection. It does not have to be perfect. However, and if you're making it for a larger group, you can double it, but the layers are on the back of this here. So we're gonna start with the refried beans, and we're gonna spread out the beans at the bottom. We're just gonna, it'll be easier if you all can see what I'm doing. Let me elevate the camera, bear with me as I adjust. Alright, so y'all can see. Okay, so the bowl is here. Alright, so you can see what I'm doing. And so it's a thin layer of beans. I might add some more because this bowl is a little bigger than what I was initially planning to use. So bear with me 1 second. All right. So I'm gonna need something to scrape this off. Alright, so this is our first layer, and it's the beans. And if you want to add more, what would be really cool is if you have a container similar to this, you can either make 2 containers or you can start the layers all over again, which is really cool. I've seen that done as well, and that's really nice. It looks like a cake. I know. I have a Nigerian friend that makes fried beans, and it's really, really good. So I understand, because smelling them, I'm like, yes, beans. All right. So after the layer of beans, we're gonna do sour cream. So the sour cream, I'm gonna put this to the side. The sour cream is a little different. So I have my bowl here, and I have 16 ounces of sour cream, and then I have my packet of the taco seasoning that I'm gonna mix together. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for pumping those hearts. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna add 16 ounces to 1 pack. So basically we're adding a 1 pack of taco seasoning to the sour cream to give it that taco flavor that we're looking for the 7-layer dip. So bear with me. I'm gonna be unconventional and mix this with a knife. The less utensils dirty, the less cleanup afterwards. So here we go. So we're just opening this packet. We're dumping it into the sour cream, and then we're gonna spread that on top of the beans. So it's gonna be a nice fluffy layer. Of sour cream, taco seasoned sour cream on top of the beans, and then we're going to add our other 5 layers. So you got to make sure it's blended really well. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for joining. It's your first day on Periscope. All right, so we're blending this in, and it's a lot more than the beans. So I think I'm gonna follow my last suggestion to myself and just add some more beans. So, because I don't want it to overwhelm the layering process. So I just added probably like a ½ cup extra of beans. And so like I said, on the back of the seasoning packet, it's gonna have what you need, so you can definitely determine how much you need based on the amount of people you have in your household or the amount of guests you're expecting. So I'm gonna add the sour cream. Quite a bit of sour cream. I wasn't expecting this much. However, it's what got the seasoning. It's basically the meat. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to dig in your ear. I apologize. Okay. So, give me 1 second. I want to make sure that I have all my layering utensils ready. Alright, so we're going to layer this This sour cream is not dairy free, however, it is gluten free. So all my gluten free folks, you don't have to worry about the sour cream mixture. You're good. You're good to go. All right. I'm gonna sit that here. So the next layer we're gonna add is the shredded cheese. So I decided to get some Fiesta shredded cheese. Like I stated, I was in Walmart. I just got 2 cups of shredded cheese. And I'm gonna save, you can, I don't know why this isn't crumbling. However, I'm gonna make sure that the rest does. And I'm gonna save some for the top. But these layers are gonna come out beautifully. You can see it here. That is layering pretty nicely. Alright, so we're gonna save probably about a 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup for the top layer. So after the cheese, I don't know if y'all can see that, but you see the beans, the sour cream, the cheese. The layers are coming in really nicely, huh? Okay, I'm getting excited. So the guacamole, I decided to make myself. So we're gonna take a 2-minute, like kind of like a break, and make the guac ourselves. So I'm gonna move this over to the side just briefly, so you all can see what I'm doing to make the guac. I have 2 avocados. I'm gonna leave this here. I have two avocados. 1, 2. My sister stored them in the refrigerator, so because they were ripening so fast. So how I do my avocados, because I am so, we call them pear in Jamaica. So I'm gonna take this off with the knife. Please don't do what I'm doing, but I just didn't want to cut that or cut into it. So I'm just cutting the top. Okay, so I want to show you guys. So I'm gonna, this part, I want to cut it off. So I'm gonna lay it down so you all can see it, and cut it here. Just cut the very head of it off, and that gives you access to it. And you can stick your knife in, watch your fingers, bring it all the way down, all the way around without moving the knife again. Then you turn it and open it up. So it's really easy. Then I start cutting on the inside. So they're not as soft as I thought, but they'll get the job done. Because the ones I bought yesterday were green. So I was just like, oh no, I might have to go buy guac. And I don't like guacamole from the store. I think it is not what I like. I can't say it's disgusting, because it's not. I just don't like the flavors that they offer. The seasoning's always off. It's always too much onion powder or something else like that. So I prefer the homemade version, and so normally I make mine. And what I put in there is some sea salt, some basil, a little bit of parsley, and crushed red peppers, and a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. So it's not hard to make. It's everyday seasoning. And this part with the seed, you just cut it again, and basically get the seed out. The seed's a little slippery, but I mean, it can be done. So I'm taking the time out to make the guac, because I really love guacamole homemade. Done with the first one. I believe because of how wide the dish is that we'll need 2, so I'm going with 2. Oops. Alright. this piece that kind of came off. Alright, so let's start with the second one. Same kind of procedure, take off the tape. This time I have guac all over my hand. Should have washed my hands, but it is what it is. Alright, so same procedure. Going all the way around with the knife. Not moving it until I'm back around. Turn it, open it, it's very easy. If it has brown stuff in the center like this, you don't see that? You can just use a knife and kind of take it out, just knife it out. Cut it out and you'll be fine. My recommendation to any newbies handling avocados, set it on the counter, don't cut it in your hand. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. So that's why I'm so comfortable with cutting it in my hand, but I wouldn't recommend it. So, almost done with the avocado. And like I stated, I'm going to add some garlic powder, some onion powder, basil, parsley, and sea salt. And then I'm going to layer it in here. I'm not going to mash it how much they do in the store. It's going to be more chunky. That's how I like it and prefer it. I'm really weird about textures. I don't like mashed potatoes or anything mashed. I'd rather it be chunky. So yes, and I'm not going to put too much salt in here because everything else has salt. The beans, the cheese, and we're going to add olives and tomatoes. They all have natural salts in them, so it's going to be very little salt in the guac. Because this is more like our balancer. This is our good healthy fat. So we want to be mindful of how much salt we're putting in our dishes. Just because. So I'm almost done. This is the last piece of the second one. And got guac everywhere, so I'm definitely washing my hands when I'm done with this. I use the knife to cut it and a spoon to dig it out of here. Alright, so we got our guac, got our trash to the side. Let me wash my hands. Alright, so that is done. Really quickly, we're going to add those ingredients. So we have some sea salt. And I'm putting very little sea salt. The crushed red peppers. A little bit of parsley. I'm going to show you all everything, I promise. I'm just putting it all together. Garlic powder. So, I have here sea salt, parsley, garlic powder, and what I didn't have is my basil or my onion powder. So I'm going to add this really quickly. We're running out of time. Alright, thank you guys so much for sharing and pumping the hearts. I really appreciate it. So, here we go. Onion powder. Here we go. That's weird. it got a little dry. All right, onion powder and basil. I grabbed the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. Basil. I grabbed the dill seeds. I was like, that is not what I need. Alright. And with this seasoning, you can guess, just like I'm guessing. I just kind of know how much I want. And you can taste. There's nothing wrong with tasting it before you add it to the mixture. So, I'm going to taste a piece. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Just the right amount of salt, not too much. Awesome. So we're going to layer this in as best as possible. And like I said, I like it chunky. So it's actually a real layer. Not that guacamole from the store isn't a real layer, but it has more texture than the mashed version. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. So that was the guacamole. And now we're going to add the tomatoes. So we have a cup of tomatoes, the olives, and the green onions. So we're going to put this back center. So we're going to add the tomatoes. And this is 1 cup of tomatoes. As you can see, the red brings bite. The red and the green have that vibrant contrast. It's beautiful, y'all. It's beautiful. All right. My utensils keep getting dirty, so I have to keep getting new ones. All right, so that's the tomatoes. And then we're gonna add the black olives. And I chose to go with a little bit of black olives because tomatoes and olives have a lot of salt in them. Tomatoes, you can't really taste it. Olives, you can because they're usually canned. So I chose not to put too many of those, but I wanted the beautiful colors and it to add to the 7 layers. I didn't want a full thick layer like the cheese. And then we're going to add the green onions. This is the last layer, the last official layer. All right. Thank you so much for pumping the hearts. Let me reset. My name is Tiffany. I'm from Jamaican Food Connection, and this is We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. Today I am making gluten-free 7-layer dip. It's actually inspired. It's a Spanish dish, and it's usually at parties that I see the 7-layer dip, or at, you know, like house gatherings or something like that. Excuse me. And sometimes people add lettuce to it, which is really good. You have different things that go into 7 layers. I've seen meat and all kinds of things. So today I decided to do a 7-layer dip with pinto refried beans, sour cream, cheese, guacamole that was homemade, tomatoes, black olives, green peppers, and now I'm gonna green onions, and now I'm going to add another layer of cheese. So this is it. I'm going to add another layer of cheese in here. And if it's coming out chunky like mine, it's probably because it got a little warm hanging out. And so and then some people dollop like some sour cream right on top, but I thought it had enough of sour cream, so I didn't add any additional sour cream to it. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you, Dr. Fumi, for being here, for supporting me. You are always so supportive, and I thank you for the opportunity to do this each and every week. I get to share my gifting with the world. And I just enjoy it so much. And I just thank you for just having this platform so I can do this. So I hope you all will try. I know it's going to be so good. My sister's making quesadillas to go with it. So I can't wait to eat. I can't wait to eat dinner. So I hope you all like it. It's beautiful. And it was so easy to make. And you don't have to make your own guacamole, but I chose to. And yeah, it's really, really pretty. So I hope this helps someone that was thinking like, what can I take that's gluten-free? This. And it doesn't have any meat in it. So all those people that are meat conscious, that don't eat meat anymore, they're pescatarian, they only have fish and shellfish, this is a great way to tell them, okay, it has dairy in it, because most of the times they eat cheese and eggs still, but they don't actually eat the meat. So if they're gluten-free or if they don't eat meat, this is a really good, easy dish for people to have at a party. So I hope this helped. I thank you for coming. I thank you for coming in. I thank you for joining. I thank you for sharing, pumping those hearts. And I'll see you next week for another episode of We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. Have a blessed week. Please catch the replay. Bye.